All right. Hello, everybody.
Hello.
How are we doing today?
Great.
Oh, good. We are doing great. All right. That's
We'll
perfect.
see.
We'll see. We'll have to see.
see.
Okay. All right. We'll give it a go. Maybe I'll ask at the end. All right, team. That's awesome. Now let's get going. So make sure you have a nice clear space to exercise in, nothing to step on or trip over. We are going to use a weight today. Okay, so that'll be helpful to have close by. And then if you've got some sort of a stretchy band, that will also be helpful for you to have close by. No worries if you don't have that. We'll make do with what we do have. Make sure you're in a sturdy chair, right? Nothing with wheels. And then it is best to be in with sturdy shoes or bare feet to help prevent you from slipping and sliding.
Hey,
So
Jill,
let's
can't
get
see your feet today.
You can't see all of me today. Well, let's adjust that then. That'll probably do the trick.
That'll do it.
All right.
Yeah.
Good. All right. So let's get into our breathing pattern. We're going to take a deep breath in, fill up our bellies. And then we're going to breathe out through pursed lips. Perfect. Breathe in. And out. Terry has his purse today that looks like a pair of lips for our pursed lips. So that's a good prop today, Terry.
Yeah. Well, I haven't had it out for a while, so I figured I'd better bring it out.
There you go. Perfect. All right, now we're going to add in inhaling as we lift our arm and exhaling as we bring our arm back down. So it's inhale, lift the arm, really get that stretch through the chest. Exhale to bring it back down. If you've got any sore shoulders, don't like the overhead movement, you can really just bring your thumb back to your shoulder as a bit of a modification. Okay, but breathe in and out. Breathe in and out. Breathe in and out. All right, breathe in and out. And now we're going to add to that movement as we lift up our arm. We're going to extend our leg out in front of us so it is opposite. And then breathe in to bring everything back in. So breathe out and extend arm and leg. And then bring it back in. Breathe in to extend arm and leg. Bring it back in. There we go. Breathe in and out. Breathe in and out. We're going to do 3 more here. Then we're going to change up the arm movement. Good. Last one is inhale and exhale. And now this time we're going to bring our arm out to the side. It'll stretch a bit more through that chest and still extend the leg. And then bring it back in. So we're going to reach the arm out to the side, extend the leg, and back in. Reach out the arm to the side, extend the leg, back in. There we go. Good work, everybody. Still breathing steadily, trying to get that deep breath as we go. 3, 2, and 1. Good. Now we're going to maintain the arm movement and switch the foot movement. So now we're going to lift and bring that leg out wide and then bring it back in. So again, we're going to lift, bring the leg out wide and back in, out wide, back in, out wide, back in. There we go. Excellent work. Out wide, back in. Out wide, back in. Well done, team. One after the other. Keep up that steady breathing pattern. Keep breathing out through pursed lips. And 3, 2, 1. Excellent. Okay, shake out your hands. Well done. So now what we're going to do is we're going to pull our foot up and reach to touch our instep on our foot. Think about trying to reach to put on some socks, but we want to keep our chest up tall. So we don't want to slouch through the lower back. You can lean forward through your hips. We're going to lift the foot up and touch. So lift the foot up and touch. There we go. Lifting one foot up at a time. Good. So lift the foot, reach and touch. Lift the foot, reach and touch.
My arms are way too short for that.
Just do your best. Even if you're only touching at the knee or somewhere in between, that's okay. There we
I
go.
think put them so far away.
Yeah, you just gotta do your best. 3, 2, 1, and rest. Brilliant. Excellent job, team. So now I've got a funny one for you. We've got our feet apart. And what's going to happen is we're going to try to pull one knee in across. So you're going to feel a little bit of a stretch through the outside of your hip and see how far down it'll go. And then we're going to bring it back up. And then we're going to switch. So we're pulling that knee down across and then back up. So you start slow, go to where you can. One side might feel tighter than the other side.
We have to keep our foot flat.
No, your foot can kind of come up a little ways.
Okay.
Yeah, for sure. Might need to turn a little bit. Just focus on that hip movement. Good. So one knee comes down and across. Again, you might feel that up into the outside of the hip. Okay. We're gonna do just a couple more here before we add to that movement. Pull it across and up, pull it across and up, and last one, pull it across. Good. Okay, so now we're going to add some movement to that. So we're going to collapse one knee at a time. So it's not as slow and steady, just a little bit more active now. And we're also going to take our hands and push them out and back, out and back. Now remember, you're in control of your own exercise and you're in control of your own intensity. So if you find like your hips are getting a bit too tired, or you're struggling with your breathing because we've got arms and legs moving now, you can focus on just the arms. Good. We're doing our best to maintain our breathing pattern. So we're still breathing out. We want that proper mouth position to help us have a good exhale, help prevent us from becoming breathless.
Feel it in the inner thigh.
Yep. That's the muscle that's working hard to pull that knee across. Some sneaky exercises today. 3, 2, 1. Rest. Good. So now we're gonna push out one arm and lift the opposite knee. Back in, up, back down. Good. So reach and lift. Reach and lift. Again, you're in charge of the intensity. You're in charge of how many limbs are moving at a time. Can we stay relatively up tall and maintain our breathing? Good. Make sure you rest when you need to, right? This is your exercise class. That's it, team. Excellent. Keep going here. For 3, 2, and keep marching. 1, rest your arms, but keep marching your legs. Okay. So now what we're going to do with the arms is we're going to push them out to the side, and then one arm goes back. Ooh, a tricky one today. So watch carefully. Out to the side. Back in. One arm goes back. Out to the side. One arm goes back. Up to the side. One arm goes back. Side. Back. Side. Back. Side. Back. Side.
Why does my leg want to go back too?
Because that's the coordination piece. It's hard to separate the brain into different tasks.
It sure is.
Good. Maintain our breathing as we go. Oh, I did both arms back. That was my bad. It's only one arm goes back. See, it's not easy. It's not
No.
easy game.
It isn't.
3, 2, 1. Rest. There we go. Now this might be the time in class where you need to just focus on recovering your breath. Maybe we need to go into that recovery position. Can you focus on just that exhale through pursed lips until you start to recover? Maybe some of you need to keep up some light movement in this time. Okay, so do what is best for you and your body today, because it does change day to day. Excellent. So if you need to stay in this recovery position, you need to keep focusing on recovering your breath before you go back and join us. That is okay. Do what is best for you. But we got just a couple more patterns I would like to try with you, just to have some fun with it. So our next pattern here is our feet are going to step out forwards and wide. It's like we're drawing a V. So there's one half of the V and then the other. Okay, so that V shape with the feet. Okay, so one foot out, back, the other foot out, back. Good. So once we got that going, what we're going to do with our arms is up and forward. Up, forward, up, forward, up, forward, up, forward, up, forward. And we're going to change which arm is doing which task in 3, 2, 1. Other arm goes up, other arm goes forward, up, forward, up, forward, up, forward, up, forward, up, forward, up, forward. Okay, if you feel comfortable making this more challenging, it's okay if you don't. I would like you to try alternating. So it's up, forward, up, forward, up, forward, up,
Nope.
forward, up, 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 forward. There we go. Brilliant job, team. Make sure we're still breathing. And 3, 2, 1, rest. Good. So a little bit of a rest. Catch your breath. Maybe you need to continue some light movement. Maybe you need to just get into that recovery position. Good. Got another pattern coming up. This is, if you've noticed, this is replacing our cardio bursts today. Doing something just a little bit different. All right, so if you feel ready, our next pattern, our leg is going to cross over and back and then open. Other leg, cross over, uncross, open. Cross, 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 uncross, open. Okay. So that is our pattern with the feet. And if you want to keep your arms still so you can just focus on the feet, that's okay. Or you can keep your arms pumping as we go. Okay, so cross, uncross, open. Cross, uncross, open. Cross, uncross, open. Cross, uncross, open. There we go. Good work, team. Do what you can here. Remember, it's good to start getting your breathing a bit challenged. We want your heart rate to go up while we're doing these movements here. And 3, 2, 1, rest. Nice work, everybody. Everyone looks a little bit tired.
Mhm.
Or maybe we're just a touch quiet, and that's okay too. So again, get in that recovery position as needed. Do your best to recover your breathing, and we've got one more pattern before we move on to our strength exercises for the day. Good. All right. So now what's going to happen? We've got one last pattern, and that pattern, so our feet are going to go forwards, forwards, back, back, and then we're going to, if you're seated, you've got 2 options. You're either going to step out, out, in, or you can move both feet at the same time. So again, it's forwards, forwards, back, back, out. Forwards, forwards, back, back, out. And if you want to slide, sliding works great too. So forwards, forwards, back, back, out. 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 And again, you can step the out. Good. Forwards, back, out. Forwards, back, out. So just waiting to see that most of us get the pattern before I kind of change what your arms are doing. You're going, oh, please don't add anything more. There we go. Nice job, team. All right, if you feel up to your arms doing something different, they're going to just push forwards and back the whole time. There we go. Good. So step forwards, back, side.
Hey, Jill, I'm not confused.
That's too confusing.
Oh, yeah.
That's okay. So again, you're in charge, right? So you know how to separate your arms and legs. So if you need to just do the legs or just work on the arms, do so. And we'll slow it down for those that need it. Forwards, forwards, back, back, side, and in. Forwards, forwards, back, back, side, and in. And those of you that have got it, you keep going. We're almost done. Again, if you get confused to the point where you're not doing it, leave the arms alone. Just focus on the legs. We go forwards, forwards, back, back, side, back in. Forwards, forwards, back, back, side, and in. Forwards, forwards, back, back, side, in. Forwards, forwards, back, back, side, in. There we go. And then if you want to add your arms moving, you can try. That's it. Good. Make sure you keep up your breathing. And it was either stepping out to the side or sliding out to the side. Good. 3, 2, 1. Rest.
Oh, yeah.
Woo! Great job, team. So again, we can go into that recovery position. Yeah, that's right, Ted. Woohoo! We face challenges with a cheer, so we feel inspired to overcome them. It's all about the mindset. Good. So focus on catching your breath, recover. We are going to shift gears into some strength training next. So if you have a weight, and use whatever you've got as a weight, that is okay. That is what we're going to be using next. So please make sure you kind of rest until you catch your breath back. And then from here, we've got our feet apart, and we are going to do a type of sit to stand. So we're on a good track with those. And I'm going to challenge you to hold the weight in one hand. And what's going to happen is I'm going to ask you to curl the weight up and stand. And then to sit back down and uncurl the weight. Okay. So if you're staying seated, just push your feet into the ground and curl and then back down. Push your feet into the ground, curl, and back down. Push your feet into the ground as you curl and back down. Brilliant. Okay, and if you're standing up all the way, up it goes, up you go with control. And then we come back down with control and uncurl the weight. Brilliant. We're going to do 6 on one side and then switch sides. So it's up and push and then back down. Up, push, and back down. Up and push. And back down. And we're going to say that this is number 6 because it took us a while to get going as a total group. Back down and switch hands. And then it's the same thing. Curl, push through your feet. Back down. And uncurl. Up, push through your feet. And then back down. Curl and push yourself to stand up. Excellent. Well done, team. And down. Curl, push. And down. Good. Curl, keep that weight steady. Nice and strong. Remember, it's helpful to breathe out as we stand up or when you exude effort or exert effort would be the right word. There we go. And rest. Whew. Okay, so that was an interesting variation for sit to stands today. How fun. Good. Okay. So now what we're going to do, team, is if you have a stretchy band, I would ask you to grab it. And we're going to do 2 things here with that stretchy band. If you don't have a stretchy band, or if the setup of what I'm about to show you does not feel right for you, what you can do as an alternative is just get your feet to push against your chair legs like we've done before, okay? Otherwise, we're gonna take our stretchy band. You're gonna fold it in half, and the free ends are gonna go away from you. The loop is gonna go around your foot, around your ankle, I should say. And then these 2 free ends are going to be placed in front of us on the ground. Okay, and then our non-looped foot, this foot is free, is going to step on the band. Okay, is everyone with me?
Yeah.
Good. So then I've got 1 foot pushing down on the band. And I've also got the band going around my other foot's ankle. We're going to call that the lassoed foot. Because it's wrapped around the band. Now the lassoed foot is going to pull back. So we're pulling the band back. We're bending this knee, almost as if we're trying to pull our heel underneath our chair. And then we're going to bring it back forwards. You're going to pull the band against the band, or pull your foot back against the band and then bring it back forward. So you should feel the underside of your thigh, that hamstring muscle working hard. So again, we're bending the knee, pulling the foot back against the band. Now, this is a tricky one. If you do have a Baker's cyst or any really tightness or swelling at the back of the knee, then I suggest you do the alternative that I showed you at the start. And if you have any questions about this exercise, please ask rather than sitting there and suffering. Please ask questions. So we're pulling that foot back, bringing it forward. So has everyone got the exercise? I see a couple thumbs up. Good.
Got it.
All right. And if you don't, please do say something. You should be feeling like that hamstring muscle, the back of the leg is working fairly hard. And let's do 3 more as a group. We're going to pull it back. 3. Pull it back. 2. And pull it back. 1. Brilliant. Now we're just going to switch sides. So whatever foot is inside the band comes out. Wrap the band around our other ankle. Both ends still stay in front of us, going forwards on the floor. All right. So I've got a lassoed foot, and I've got a foot pressing down on the band. And then we're just going to pull it back. Good. So pull that foot back towards the underneath of the chair and then forwards. Pull it back and then let it come back forwards. Pull it back and then forwards. Pull it back and then forwards. Good work, everybody. So again, you should feel like that hamstring muscle is working quite hard. And remember, we are going to repeat this exercise. So I really want you to focus on what's happening here. Remember the setup. Good. Pull that foot back. And then let it come forward. And we've got 3. Good. 2. And 1. Good. Rest. So you can take your foot out of the band. I'm going to just put the band to the side so I'm no longer stepping on it. Good work, everybody. All right. And now the third exercise in this sequence for us is we're going to have our feet out wide. And we're going to do 10 sit-to-stands. 10 sit-to-stands with our feet out wide. And this time with the weight, we've got it up on the shoulder. So we're going to stand up and we're going to push the weight up overhead. So I know I get kind of cut off here. You bring the weight back down and then you sit back down. So we're going to do 5 with each hand. Stand and push. And back down. Otherwise, you're staying seated. You're pushing your feet into the ground in order to lift that weight up. That's 3. And then down. And then again, push through the feet. Push the weight up. 4. Back down. And then that last one. All the way up. Push the weight up. And that's 5. Switch hands. Oh boy. All right. So same thing. Push through your feet. Press the weight up. And then back down. You're standing up. Push all the way through. To stand up tall, we push the weight up overhead. And then down. Good. Up. Push. Back down. It's 3. And push. Up. Back down. 4. And push. Up. It is 5. down. And rest. Good work, team. Wow, that's awesome. Don't think you
Now
guys were
repeat.
super excited about the two different sit-to-stands, but that's okay. Right? You can do it.
Absolutely.
There we go. There we go. Actually, you know what? Let's give the legs a little bit of a rest. I'll add in a fourth exercise so you can grab the weight again. And what we'll do with this weight is we'll paddle. So it is springtime. Gotta get ready for the canoe. You start with the weight on a shoulder, you paddle it down across to the hip, and then back up. So you paddle down and back up. Paddle down and back up. Paddle down and back up. Paddle down, back up. Paddle down, back up. Paddle down, back up. Paddle down, back up. Paddle. So 5, 6, 7. Remember to keep your core tight. 8, 9, 10. Good. Now we're going to switch sides. It's up on the other shoulder. Paddle down. 1, 2, 3.
4,
That was 4.
5,
Okay. 5.
6,
Paddle 6. Make sure we maintain our breathing pattern as we go, gang, and keep that core tight. 8, 9, 10, and rest. Good. So you might need to go into that recovery position before we repeat those exercises.
I don't know, I feel the boat kind of spinning, Joe.
Good work, gang. So I see a couple of you doing some light movement, which is great, if that's what you need. And so now you're already going to think ahead. We know the 4 exercises we're going to do. We know that there's 2 sets of sit-to-stands, 2 variations. So really think about how are you going to overcome that challenge? Are there going to be a couple sit-to-stands that you're going to have to stay seated and push your feet through the floor? Are you going to be able to kind of grit through and get them all done? Try to come up with a bit of a plan that is challenging but doable for you. Okay. So when you are ready, we're going to repeat. And the first series of sit-to-stands that we did was to curl the weight up. We did 6 per hand. Ready? So we curl the weight up and up we go, or you stay seated and push your feet into the ground. Want to make it challenging but doable. Curl and up. It's helpful to breathe out as you exert. Curl and push. This is 3. Good control. Curl and up. 4. Down with control. Curl. It's 5. Down.
Good job.
And curl and 6.
Uh-oh.
And down. So switch hands. And then same thing. Curl up. 1. Down with control. Curl and stand. It's 2. Good. Curl. 3. Good, keep that core tight. Curl. 4. Good. Curl, brace the core to stand. 5. Down. And last one. Curl, push. Brilliant. And down. Rest the arm. Well done, everybody. Okay, so right from there, hopefully you remember how to set yourself up with the band here, or you're just pushing your feet against the chair leg. But this is where we fold the band in half. We lasso one ankle, and then the 2 ends just get placed in front of us so that our other foot can push down on the band. All right. And then from here, we're going to curl, pull the heel back, and then forwards. Pull it back. There we go. So 3. Pull it back. It's 4. Yeah, make sure our bodies stay tall. Try not to use them in the momentum here. You can slide that foot back as needed. And go slow and cautious with this exercise, right? Don't those hamstrings to cramp. Good. Remember, it's helpful to breathe out as you pull the foot back. Good. Well done, everybody. Breathe out and pull. Good. Breathe out and pull. We've got 4 more left. So this is 12. Pull. 13. Good. Pull. 14. And last one on this side, pull. 15. Well done. So you can untangle the one foot, but get the other one, the band around it. All right, ready and pull. Back. Pull. And back. Pull. And back. Pull. And back. Remember, it's helpful to breathe out. You must maintain your breathing pattern. Continue to breathe out through pursed lips as we go. And it's often easier to do so with these slower strength exercises compared to when we're doing cardio. Great job, team. Getting close to stretch time. You guys are doing wonderful. And we've got 5 more. This is 11. Good. 12. 13. 14. And 15. Good. Rest there. You can carefully get the band out from your feet. And then we've got another set of sit to stands.
Whoopee.
Yippee! So remember, you can stay seated and push your feet into the ground. This is our overhead press. So as we push through our feet, if you're You can stand up and then we're gonna just press the weight overhead. Ready, and let's go. Push through the feet all the way up. Push the weight overhead. That's 1. And up. 2. This is also the sit to stand variation was encouraging you to get your feet and knees out wide. So change up the angle of the muscle if you can. Of course, this is always challenging, but doable. Make it doable for yourself. Down and 5. Switch hands. And push through the feet. Overhead press. 1. And down. Push up. 2. Down. Push through your feet. 3. Down. Push through your feet. 4. Down. And last one. Push through your feet. 5. There we go. And rest. Then we've got just one last exercise, and then we get to stretch, and this is our paddling.
Oh,
So we're just paddling from one shoulder down to the opposite hip. That's 1. And up. Paddle. 2. Keep the core really tight here. And breathe. 3. 4. 5. 6. 7. 8. 9. 10. Switch sides. Paddle. 1. 2. 3. 4. 5. 6. 7. 8. 9. And 10. Rest. Good work, team. And shake it all out. And we'll get right into some stretches. Now remember, stretch time is the perfect time to ask any questions you might have and just for us to chat, discuss, and connect as a group. And I'll just say change or switch when we're ready. So first we're just gonna pull up that elbow. Do it however is most comfortable for you. And then what questions do we have today, team?
what do you do if you fall out of the boat?
Well, you better hope you can swim. What were you doing that you fell out of the boat?
Not enough.
That's what I would want to know.
Jill, I have a question.
Yes.
When I can breathe. Jill, a question?
Yep.
Okay, so what's the best position to lie in bed to maximize one's breathing capacity? Please.
Oh, that's a great question. Switch sides here. It actually depends. It actually depends on what part of your lung tends to get most inflamed or most gunky, full of phlegm.
Oh.
Because you've got your 3 lobes. And even just simply, if you get more congestion on the left side of your lungs, you actually sleep easier. I believe it's on your left because then it's not draining down.
Oh.
I should probably look back into that. There's yeah, I was learning from a respiratory therapist on that a couple months ago.
Okay, thanks.
So double check your respirologist or your respiratory therapist should best be able to help determine if you've got more phlegm tend to be more phlegmy on one side or the other.
Okay, got it,
because
Jill,
they're- yeah.
thank you. It's very specific, I'm sorry, thank you.
No, it's actually super helpful, because I think that's helpful for everybody. There are certain positions to be in depending on how much you're struggling with your breathlessness due to phlegm and inflammation, and altering your sleeping position can best help with that. I think that's a really important thing. Rest there. Just reach your leg out in front of you, reach towards your toes.
I couldn't get a clear answer on that, Jill. When I asked my respirologist, because I need to be on my left side, no problem. If I'm on my right side, a major problem. And he says, oh, that's because of the blood flow, which doesn't make much sense to me.
Do you
Yes,
have
because
any?
your heart is pumping the blood to your lungs,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, your heart's actually more central than we tend to be taught.
Yeah.
It is a bit more left-sided, but it is a bit more central. What I would suspect there, Barry, is maybe asking if you have any circulatory, and don't share this information on this very public recorded platform, but just some questions to think about are like, do you have any sort of vascular issues, like any blood capillary or artery issues that would impact that blood flow? Switch legs. Like some people do have like peripheral artery disease, PAD.
Yeah, I have that.
Or, right. So depending on what side it's on, that's what could be meant by that.
Yeah.
Is more of like in that specific case. Yeah. Or could have misspoke. Maybe they were referring more to the phlegminess of your lungs being a little more one-sided.
Right.
So it's always good to ask questions. That's perfect.
So Jill, one of the exercises you had was you had her bring our arms above our head and breathe in. So if we were lying down and brought our arms above our head, do you think that'd be helpful?
That is a very helpful exercise to practice in a laying down position.
Okay.
I wouldn't recommend that you try sleeping with your arms extended above your head for long
No, of
periods
course.
of time.
Yeah, right.
But absolutely, any of the shoulder, we tend to do 3 key shoulder exercises, which is raising the arm above your head.
Yeah. Yeah.
Reaching across your body.
Yeah.
Like patting yourself on the back. And keep the elbows tucked in.
Yeah.
And pull the hands apart. Those 3, if you do them laying on your back.
Yeah.
You can get more out of them because your shoulders aren't working against gravity.
Huh.
You get that little bit more of mobility through the chest and shoulders that way. You guys can go ahead and pull your foot up onto your shin or all the way up onto your thigh.
Okay.
And remember, I ask you guys, when you do those exercises in warm-up often, because it does slightly get your thoracic spine, which then causes your rib cage to move and open up and become a little bit more easily moved when you breathe.
Okay. Thank
So
you.
those
Thank
are
you.
very helpful exercises
Hey.
to do.
Yeah. Thanks.
Yeah, you bet.
Good question.
Excellent.
And it can help your body recruit your respiratory muscles, especially this one. When you breathe in, you might find it a bit easier because those are some similar muscles. Just the movement helps recruit those respiratory muscles that help contract and open up your rib cage as you inhale.
Oh, okay. Great.
So if you think about just being here and breathing in and then exhaling, and then you slowly, purposefully think about letting the chest pull forwards and breathe in as you pull the hands apart, and then purposefully rotate them back in as you exhale. Might find it a bit easier. You can go ahead and switch legs.
Okay, good. Thank you. Thank you.
You betcha. This is great. You guys are full of great questions today. Any others you might have? You can go ahead and bring this leg back down and then bring it behind us. You stretch out the front of the hip, or you can turn sideways in your chair, whatever feels best for you. How's everyone feeling after exercises today?
Good.
Excellent.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we worked the
Tired.
legs really hard today.
Yeah, I'll say.
Never did you think there would be 2 different sit-to-stands
I know.
in one class.
We'll just have to eat more
Legs.
cinnamon buns.
What? What?
I find that when I'm ill and I have to go to ER and spend some time in the hospital, the first thing that goes is the sit-to-stands. It's very
Oh, yeah.
difficult.
Oh, yeah.
So today I only did half, but half is better than none.
Totally.
it's
Did you
the-
do the seated version? Did you push your
No,
feet into
no,
the ground?
I stood up,
There you go.
but it's a long haul, I'll tell you.
Yeah, it sure is. And again, that's where it's so important to find your challenging but doable range. Because if you try to push too hard where it's just really challenging and not quite doable, you're not gonna actually improve as much because your body's too busy recovering. If it's too doable and not at all challenging, it's also gonna not optimize your recovery because it's not helping things along. That's where you gotta find that fine balance.
Wow. You're so knowledgeable. Perfect.
Well, thank you. Thank you very much. I'd like to invite you all to take in 2 deep breaths with me. We'll start one at a time. So let's and put your hands wherever is most comfortable for you. So we can go ahead and inhale. And slowly exhale. And one more time. Inhale. And exhale. All right, roll your shoulders back, shake out your hands and legs, give yourself a pat on the back. Thank you for joining me today again.
Thank you. Have a good
Thank you
weekend.
very much.
Have a good week.